Friday night, it was all A's as the green and gold pounded out 12 runs on 16 hits as they cruised to a Game-1 victory versus their rivals from the north, the Seattle Mariners. Yesterday, it was a pitcher's duel until late in the game as the two teams rallied back and forth, eventually going to extras, and Brad Miller's 11th inning double proved to be the difference. Today, it's the rubber game of the series, but it won't be easy as the Athletics will face one of the best in the game, King Felix Hernandez. Final game of the series next. Beautiful day for baseball. It's the homestand finale for the Athletics, and King Felix is going to take them on for the Mariners. Some good news for the A's. Josh Reddick is back in the lineup. He's going to play right field, and the A's will send Jesse Hahn to the mound. So, some sidebars for this afternoon's game. You see the pitchers, Reddick's back in there, and it's the rubber game of the series. It's the Mariners and the A's coming up on Comcast Sportsnet, California. Hi again, everybody. Welcome to Oakland A's Baseball. Along with Ray Fosse, I'm Glenn Carpenter. You saw Felix Hernandez. He's already got a win this year. He won on opening day. And Ray, we've seen him now for what, 8, 9, 10 years, and really he's come so far as a pitcher. You think about when he first started, he was throwing 96 miles an hour. He doesn't do that anymore, but he's just as effective.
36 starts today against the Athletics. Different players, but still, he has been dominating against the Athletics. Last year is 4-0. The biggest thing about him, and everybody talks about his changeup. While his velocity, his fastball has dropped, his changeup is not the differential that you're looking for at 12 to 13 miles per hour. He throws it as hard as he does his fastball, except the bottom drops out of it. So you're a hitter, and you're standing up there looking fastball, and all of a sudden, here comes this turbo sinker. You have no chance. Hitters talk about changeup. If they can get that pitch up and hit it, they have a chance.
Jesse Hahn makes his second start. He was pretty decent on Tuesday night, did not get a lot of run support, so we're looking forward to seeing Jesse Hahn maybe relax a little bit in his second start.
Well, I think the biggest thing is run support. He only got the one run, but he pitched very, very well against the Texas Rangers. It was kind of that win-lose, win-lose, win-lose for the Athletics. He happened to be in the losing category, but he has a great curveball right over the top. Good changeup, sneaky fastball. His composure was outstanding, and I think if you get him some run supports early, and the big test for him today is going to be the Seattle Mariners, but Felix Hernandez, he's not facing him. He's facing their hitters. If he can keep them down, this club has a chance to win.
All right, nice crowd this afternoon. There will be a little buzz in the air. Why? Because it's Little League Day. Over 10,000 Little Leaguers in the ballpark this afternoon. We'll have lineups and first pitch from the Coliseum when we come back. It's the A's and the Mariners, rubber game of the series.
A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Jack in the Box. Jack's hottest sandwich is back. Head to Jack in the Box for Jack's Blazing Chicken Sandwich. By Toyota, #1 in MPG, durability, and resale value. Toyota, let's go places. And by DraftKings.com. Play daily fantasy baseball for free on DraftKings.com with the official daily fantasy partner of Major League Baseball. Enter promo code SLIDER for free entry.
Here they come. Look out. It's Little League Day.
An Expo. That's pretty neat.
Little Leaguers in Expo. It doesn't get much better than that. Somebody forgot their hat, but if you get hair like that, you don't want to wear your hat. Gorgeous day for baseball here at the Coliseum. Again, Little League Day, over 10,000 Little Leaguers in the house. So they're going to have a good time. So are we. Game time weather presented by the Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk. The boardwalk is open daily March 28th through today, April 12th. 64 degrees, just a nice light breeze. A very, very nice day. April 12th as the A's wrap up their first homestand of the season, and they want to wrap it up on a winning note. The Seattle Mariners lineup has Austin Jackson in center, Seth Smith will DH, then Cano at second, Cruz and right, Seager at third, Morrison at first, Ackley in left, Zunino will do the catching, and the hero from yesterday, Brad Miller, is the shortstop.
Jesse Hahn today, his second start, all in white, as he takes the mound this afternoon on a beautiful Sunday afternoon. He has had one start against the Mariners. That was last year with the Padres, and good news for he and the Athletics, he was successful. So we'll see how he does against them in a white uniform, in the green and gold, and white shoes today.
First pitch to Austin Jackson is called a strike. So we are underway from the O.co Coliseum.
67. Some good temperatures this weekend of baseball.
Quick 0-2 to Jackson.
You know, Cap, the good thing about, well, one of the better things about Jesse Hahn, one of them is the way he's right over the top. He works quickly, and it's a little difficult to pick up the baseball when he throws, just because he is over the top with it.
Don't see that many straight over the top guys. Fastball is high to Austin Jackson.
Now, if you did the old 1930s windup where he just, there's a windup and the pitch, and
rock and fire.
I mean, at 6'5", that would be beneficial for him, but he is very good.
Simeon ranges to his left. Wow. The A's defense has Canna in left, Fold in center. Josh Reddick is back. He's in right. Laurie, Simeon, Zobrist. Zobrist playing second base for the first time this year, and then Ike Davis at first. And Vogt is your catcher.
As you talked yesterday and throughout this week with the anticipation of Josh Reddick returning, which he does today, that would put him in right field, and more likely it would be Zobrist going to second base, where he played a lot during spring training.
Seth Smith steps up. So Reddick off the disabled list, and Tyler Leidendorf is sent to AAA Nashville.
Well, it's a short amount of time that the young man was here, but he got a chance to show that he can play at this level. Different positions, and of course a trip in his first major league at bat. He'll never forget that. Just to have the opportunity, even though it was only 6 games that he was here, but I think he proved to a lot of people that he could play.
Maybe not an easy decision for the A's to send him down.
Absolutely not. No, it's you know, especially his versatility. I mean, it's great to get Reddick back and get the sign back out there, and he's got the WWE belt and all that. But unlike Leidendorf, is very, very, very versatile.
2-1 to Smith. Cano will follow, just underway.
I think also, Kipe, and with a team that might not hit as many home runs as we've seen in the past.
Very high. Canna has a ways to go. A couple steps in front of the warning track. He's got it.
But if you think about manufacturing runs, you do it a lot of times with speed. Yesterday, the A's bunted to move a couple of runs in scoring position, and hit and run and steal. And Leidendorf has a complete package. And so that, I'm sure, made it a more difficult decision. But you have to bring the veteran back and Reddick, and not surprised that did happen. Go crisp. Still going to be out for a while with the bone chips and the right elbow taken out. And I guess you could say if Reddick and Coco had been healthy, Leidendorf wouldn't have made the club anyway.
Nope.
So it was a good experience for him, and I'm sure he'll remember. And go to AAA with Steve Sarsoni at Nashville and do his best to try to get back here.
0-1 to Robinson Cano, who is 0 for 8 in this series. Davis to his right. And that's a good inning for Jesse Hahn. Couple of groundouts and a flyout. Bottom of the first coming up. It'll be full. Canna and Zobrist, no score. Mariners go quietly in the top of the first. Here come the A's in the bottom of the first. Quick look at the A's lineup. It has Sam Fuld leading off, Canna hitting second, Zobrist third. Butler will DH, he'll hit fourth. Davis, Vogt, Laurie, Reddick, and Simeon. So Reddick back in the lineup, hitting in the 8th spot.
He's got a Cy Young Award. He's got a perfect game. He's got everything working for him in a long-term contract with his hometown Seattle Mariners. Felix Hernandez is outstanding. 129 earned run average. That in his first game. The one run, a home run by Mike Trout. And that was it. But a lot of success against the A's, making his 36th start against the Athletics. Gosh, he could have gone to the National League. The A's wouldn't have had to face him. Got Scherzer out of the league. And Gio, the National League.
First pitch, up and away. Hernandez, his 10th year in the big leagues. 126 career wins and 92 losses. Hernandez knocks it down, scrambles after it, throws low, and Morrison digs it out. 1 out. Hernandez quickly scrambled after it.
Right back up the middle, and Felix gets a glove on it. I don't know that anybody would have had it other than Felix. And Morrison, very adept at first base, like the A's. Ike Davis picking it. And I would think, Kite, Nolan Ryan and it's 7 no-hitters. But I would think when you've pitched a no-hitter, a perfect game, every time you take the mound, you think, I'm going to do it again. And you see how he jumped on the ball and got it to first base very quickly. That would have been hit otherwise.
Exmo brought to you by Cache Creek Casino Resort. And into Canna.
Now Felix jumping, and again ball hit hard by Sam Fuld, but very, very quick to get to the ball, and even better pick at first base by Logan Morrison. And tough play, able to handle it easily.
Hernandez last year started the All-Star game. He led the American League in ERA. He was second in the Cy Young voting. Tight battle for the Cy Young. Kluber got it from the Indians.
Bit of advice to Mark Canna, a rookie: swing the bat, because if anybody has a reputation, it's going to get close calls. This guy's going to get it. And Felix Hernandez And I've been back there. I've seen and talked to umpires, and I've had them say, "Oh, Catfish is pitching now, an hour and a half. We'll be out of here." So I just move off the plate 6 inches and get strikes. So things like that happen, and especially if you're a rookie, you're young, swing the bat.
Canada gets jammed, grounds to third. So 2 outs here in the bottom of the first defensively for Seattle. Ackley, Jackson, Cruz in the outfield. Seager, Miller, Cano, Morrison on the infield, and Zunino is behind the dish. So 2 outs. Here's Zobrist. An ERA for Hernandez last year, 2.14. Just a shade ahead of Chris Sale from the White Sox. Chris Sale, his ERA was 2.17. He was kind of the front runner, I think, for the Cy Young, and then Kluber had such a great second half, and Kluber ended up winning. 1-1 the count to Zobrist. They're your umpires. Mike DeMiro calling balls and strikes. Gibson at first, Gorman at second, Carlson at third. Grounded to short. Miller shaded that way. 9-pitch first inning for Felix Hernandez. We're on to the second. No score. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Paul Blart, Mall Cop 2, starring Kevin James. It's in theater starting April 17th. There's a ball game going on there as well. Good looking little yard.
So they're scoring 0-0 too, huh?
Probably.
Got grass infield. That's pretty special. Not just all dirt.
Top of the second, no score. Both teams go in order in the first. It'll be Cruz, Seager, and Morrison. Fastball first strike. Nelson Cruz, big hit yesterday, that 3-run homer. His first home run with the Seattle Mariners.
And Dan Otero tried to go sinker down and in. It just did not sink where he wanted it. And Josh Fagley said he called a slider just to at least get Cruz thinking that maybe it'd be something other than the sinker down and in, but he did it, got it, didn't miss it. Very rare for Dan Otero to have a home run hit off him.
So watch the location of this pitch.
Fagley inside, but it stays up and belt high. It did have some movement, but instead of going down, it was more lateral. And I'd say that was a crushed home run. Happened to be a 3-run shot after a challenge.
Broken bat, Fold hustling in, still hustling in, and Sam Ford dives, and he caught Very nice play by Sam Fuld to start the second inning.
Well, that's Super Sam, and you cannot play deep. And if you do, you better break in immediately, and he did. Leaves his feet. That's an all-out, headlong dive, and a tremendous play by Sam Fuld. What a great play. And, you know, you see someone not afraid to leave the feet. Of course, this field is very soft to land on, but Jesse Hahn happy. He made the pitch, broke the bat of Cruz, and got it out on top of it.
So got to bring up Seager.
Well, that's a great play. Sam has done that many times in his career. Remember last year he started with the A's, picked up by the Twins, and the A's were fortunate to get him back, and he couldn't be happy to be back in the A's uniform. You know, when a center fielder does that, he knows there's going to be somebody behind him backing up, and while it might be a ball that drops, but somebody's there, but he can afford to leave his feet and make the play he did.
Yeah, Sam Fuld went to Minnesota, and we saw him on the highlights all the time.
That's right. Yeah,
making great plays with the Twins.
And unfortunately banged against the wall and hurt himself one time.
2-1 to Seager. Seager is 2 for 8 in the series. On the season, he's 3 for 18. Got a home run. A half swing. Headed down toward the far and actually just past the A's dugout. Tough loss yesterday for the Athletics. 5-4 in 11 innings. A couple of plays that the A's wish they could have back. Canna on the move, and Canna gets there.
Oh, positioning is outstanding, and Seager, who is capable of hitting home runs, but uses the opposite field very well. But Mark Canna had him play perfectly with a slicing drive, and you hit this ball, and you're thinking maybe it's a double down in the corner, but Canna played him perfectly, got a great jump, and shown that he can play some outfield here at the Coliseum in a very tough sun field.
First pitch to Logan Morrison. Shifter's on. Simeon grabs it. Side retired. 6 up, 6 down for Jesse Hahn. Bottom of the second coming up. Here's our forward right choice. Check out Felix Hernandez. Numbers from last year. 248 strikeouts last year. Was an all-star for the 5th time. In fact, he started for the first time And he went 16 straight starts, 7+ innings, 2 earned runs or less, and he finished second in the AL Cy Young voting. Amazing. He's still only 29 years old. He signed through 2019. 2.14 to win the ERA title.
Well, I could say when his career is over, gave him 5 years, the mandatory time. Pedro Martinez and Roger Clemens there. Of course, Pedro going in Hall of Fame this year. Felix will be there. First ballot. You talk about dominating.
He's done everything individually. He's got the Cy Young.
That's right.
You know, the whole no-hitter. He's got it all, but he has yet to pitch in the postseason, right. And I think that probably bothers him a little bit. It's not necessarily his fault. He really, the first 7 years of his career, he really only had one good team that he played on. But last year, a pretty good Mariners team, and looks like they're going to be good again this year, and he's got a shot this year.
Well, I'm sure every time he takes them out, he feels individually what he can do, but also with the addition of Cruz and Cano already there last year, he realizes that when he signed the extension to stay in Seattle, and many expected after the 14th season when he's going to be a free agent that he would be on to the bigger cities, maybe New York, but give him credit. His manager's happy, Lloyd McClendon, and Felix very emotional. He lives in Seattle, and he thanked the fans, and they are very appreciative of what he does every time he takes them out.
Check swing by Butler, no swing.
Okay, believe it or not, which I know he will, but you know, the starts that he has had, the A's actually 4 times have gotten 11 hits against him. Shock, that was a check swing held up by Billy Butler, but he seems to find a way to win, or the team does when he is on the mound.
Seager can't get it, and it's a base hit to left field. So Butler leads off the second inning.
Well, as our good friend Paul Harris would say, cancel the press conference.
Right.
Billy Butler got maybe a favorable call on a check swing and comes back and hammers a pitch that was elevated a little bit too much probably from Felix's standpoint, but that's the power and the strength of Billy Butler to hit it past the diving Seager at third.
Well, Butler has now hit safely in each of the first 7 games of this season. There's Ike Davis. Strike called on the outside corner to Davis. Davis 5 for 16 on the season with 4 RBIs. There's the 35 starts against the A's. Highlighted in yellow is the one that jumps at you, 10-2. It's been a while since he has lost here at the Coliseum. 2010, May of 2010, last time he lost.
You can ask managing general partner and owner Lou Wolf just how effective Felix has been. Probably 5 of those wins have come on opening night whenever the Mariners have been here to open the season. And Felix, of course, always is a starting pitcher, as he was Monday in Seattle. It's the extra day with the off day Thursday. The cap you brought up in our open about Felix Hernandez, and while he's not throwing 97, his control is better, but talk about his changeup. His fastball can go from anywhere from 88 to 92, but his changeup can also be at 88, which means that that's the changeup thrown hard, turbo sinker type, and it drops out of sight and makes it very, very difficult to hit. Also tough on the catcher block.
And he will spin a good curve in there. He doesn't throw it a lot. 2-2 to count to Davis with Vogt waiting in the andexer. Outside corner, strike 3 call. That's the first strikeout for Felix Hernandez. So he went with a fastball, well located.
And while Ike Davis has been called out on some low fastballs, that one was a perfectly thrown fastball. I don't think you can even question about the height. Across the plate, looked like the upper part of the knees, and had the corner, so everything good about it from the pitcher standpoint. Ike Davis didn't like it, but it's a pretty good pitch. And here's the shot that we see right now, maybe right at the knees, a little bit at the lower part of the knee, but like I said, Felix again, any pitches when there's any doubt.
So 1 out. Vogt will hit.
That was the changeup at 87. First pitch change.
Vogt 5 for 14 on the year. He's got a home run, 4 RBI. First strike, 1-1.
Jesse Hahn has done his part so far. He tied the first 6 batters he faced. Felix had a 1-2-3 first, but a leadoff single by Butler. He's trying to get on the board. Jesse Hahn would continue to try to shut down the Mariners' offense.
Running in on the hands of Vogt. He swings and misses. 1-2 to count. Coming into today's action, watch this ball run in. That looked like the curveball.
It's the curve. That's it. That's the one with a good spin that you mentioned, and that is a good one.
Just missed. Coming into today, the A's scored the 2nd most runs in the American League in the first week of the season. The Detroit Tigers, who scored all kinds of runs, they have scored the most. A's 2nd. Again, it's only the first week in the season. There's that changeup, but that is a lot. Changeup, 32% of the team. There's a handful of pitchers who have that changeup that say it acts like a splitter, and it's really a strikeout pitch.
Okay.
And that is definitely a strikeout pitch.
Yeah, Stephen Vogt holding up on the pitch, and now it's a question. You can't be assured that you're going to get a fastball 3-2. If you do, you're probably shocked and maybe not swinging as aggressively as you normally would.
Hit toward right field, and it's going to fall in front of Cruz. So Vogt has a hit.
Remember Friday night, Ruggiano in right field playing shallow with Sanford. He catches the ball that was just hit by Sanford. Nelson Cruz more of a designated hitter, as it was last year with Baltimore and mostly with the Mariners, with the exception now Seth Smith is a little bit banged up. So Stephen Vogt, the top spin on a fastball that he hit to a little bit towards right center, but Nelson Cruz had a slight break back, just enough to prevent him from getting to the ball and making the play, and he had to catch it, jumping up to make sure he blocked it at least, and ended up catching it. But there's a difference of Cruz. Seth Smith normally would be out there with a right-hander pitching, but Seth is still maybe a little banged up, so he's DHing.
That's a base hit left field. They're going to hold Butler as Ackley flips it in to the cutoff man. So 3 hits off Felix Hernandez here in the 2nd inning, and the A's have the bases loaded.
Welcome to Oakland, Josh Reddick.
That's right.
Bases loaded. New number, and your first at bat in the big leagues this year is against Felix Hernandez, and Brett Lawrie jumping on the first pitch fastball and no movement whatsoever. It was a 4-seamer. And Brett Lawrie all over it, but Country Breakfast could not make the turn and try to score.
So here's Reddick, first pitch, tapped slowly. Morrison charges. He's going to come home, and a close play. They got him.
Now Bob Melvin is saying, "Hold on a minute, let's wait," and they're going to check and see.
So Bob turns around,
and that was the only play, unfortunately. And Josh Reddick hit it softly, but Logan Morrison, the only play he was really going to have, he could have gotten a runner at first, but he also saw Billy Butler coming down the line, and that was close. Well, unfortunately not close enough, because Bob Melvin's back in the dugout. Zunino with his right foot on the plate and just barely got it. Just barely got it.
So it goes as a fielder's choice. 3-2 on the putout, so a big defensive play by the Mariners. Logan Morrison, give him credit, he took a little bit of a chance, but it is a forced play, and that certainly helped him. Now it's up to Simeon with 2 outs. Vogt at third. Laurie at second, Reddick at first. Breaking ball is low, 1-1 again.
We were talking about the speed and how it can affect the game. And unfortunately, Billy Butler, a great player, great hitter, but he just does not have the speed. And you know, when you're in that position, when you come down the line, you have to try to get a big lead, and could not see exactly where Billy was, but you know, you just have to anticipate there is going to be a play at the plate, and especially on a slow hit ball.
Shallow center, Jackson coming in. He's got inside, retired. So the A's let an opportunity get away. They do not score against Felix Hernandez. 0-0 as we head to the third.
A's fans, this buzz.
No score, top of the third. Controversial play yesterday at second base. The original call was that Simeon had his foot on the bag, but the play was reviewed and call was reversed. Watch the left foot. Umpires reviewed it, said the foot was not on the bag, and it also brought up the neighborhood play, which is where umpires will maybe allow the middle infielders to be near the bag with their foot for safety purposes, right? It's kind of been
and it's unreviewable too, right?
And so that play technically is not reviewable. The neighborhood play is, so we know the definition of neighborhood. But Brian Gorman, the crew chief, explained why it was reviewed, and I thought it was interesting. And whether we agree with it or not, at least he gave an explanation of why it was reviewed. And he said, again, the neighborhood play is, they're not reviewable for the sake of an infielder's safety. That's the first part of it. But Brian Gorman said in this instance, it has to be a true throw to second base in order for it to be categorized as a neighborhood play. That's a quote by Brian Gorman. So what it comes down to, Ray, is because the throw was not a great throw from O'Flaherty, that turns it into not really a routine play around the bag at second, and it takes away the neighborhood part of it when the throw is not good. So again, a little bit complicated, but
I want him to
at least he gave an explanation of why they made the call.
I just want to keep that in mind whenever there's a ground ball to hit to the left side and a third baseman or shortstop makes a high or an errant throw at second, and with the second baseman coming across the bag, maybe not keeping his foot on, but they allow the neighborhood play. So there's a throw, it's offline. So they've taken out the inconclusive part of the reviews, it seems, with that play, because unless there was something that we missed, I don't know that we ever saw a conclusive evidence that his foot was not on the bag, or his toe wasn't. And I know that last year there were so many that at times when, or some were said that whatever the play on the field was, it was inconclusive. And it was going to remain as the play on the field. But that was then. This is now. The A's trying to play well against the Mariners in the series finale. And Jesse Hahn, 8 in a row that he's retired.
Batting in the 9th position, shortstop.
So here's Brad Miller.
5, Brad Miller.
Miller sliced a double into the left field corner in the 11th inning that knocked in the go-ahead run. That was yesterday. Laurie playing in. Solid retired. 8-pitch inning for Jesse Hahn. And we're headed to the bottom of the 3rd. Fold to lead it off. No score. Here's our true story brought to you by McDonald's. September 3rd of last year, Adam Dunn against Felix Hernandez. That was Dunn's last career home run. He finished his career with 462. Adam Dunn. So he was an A for a short time. 5 different teams in his 14-year big league career. 35th in Major League history on that home run list.
And the unfortunate rest of the story, that was the only run the A's got. Felix won 2-1.
You don't want to do that.
It was exactly, yeah, you upset him. Just like Trout upsetting second batter of the season this year. He hit a home run straightaway center at safe goal, which is not easy to do.
That was it.
That was it. And we have seen Felix. If you don't get him early, you may not get him at all. The A's had the opportunity last inning, didn't get him. And it's almost like he turns it up another notch. He turns it another gear whenever he gets out of a tough jam.
Yeah, well, you're right. When he gets runners on base, he does go into a different gear. 3-0 to Sanford. Canada follow, and then Zobrist here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. He's in there for a strike, 89 miles an hour.
Still, even 3-0 and an 89 is still some movement. It wasn't just a 4-seam right over the top. He has kind of a 3/4, which creates the movement when he throws his fastball.
That one is high, and the A's have a leadoff walk. So runners on, a 186 average, bases empty, 207. So,
oh well,
we were just talking about it just from remembering what we see, and the numbers back it up. Hard to hit either way.
You know, it's so difficult to score. Who knows, maybe hit and run. Things might happen with get a runner on base, especially full with the speed.
First pitch is inside. A's do not have a stolen base yet this year. This is their 7th game of the year. And they do have guys who can do it. Full Gentry. Of course, Gentry struggling some this first week. He has not been on base much. Fold has a good sized lead.
And he broke, and so did the second baseman Cano. So it indicates that Cano is going to be the one covering. Hole is huge on the right side. They're expecting the aggressive Mark Cannon to pull something that Felix might throw.
Swing and a miss. Fold had 21 steals last year, 9 with Oakland, 12 with Minnesota.
Now, Ricky Henderson's been with the club all week. And no stolen bases. That's the all-time greatest stolen base leader in the history of the game. And he has not witnessed one stolen base.
Inside corner. Strike 2, and it looks like, Ray, that Hernandez is trying to get the ball in on Mark Cannon.
That was a changeup, actually, that looked like it just floated inside. And that was a changeup that just throw in the middle of the plate and take whatever direction. But you're right. I think it's going that direction. That's something to keep in mind. Last year, the most pitches Felix threw in any one game was on the 11th of July against the A's. That is 108 pitches. So he gets around 100. And then there is some concern that he will not go too much beyond that. So that's why we talked at the beginning. There's Ricky watching. See if Sam Folk can get a big enough lead to try to do something.
Fold runs, ball is hit hard but foul. So Fold was moving.
You know, we were talking earlier about if you can work him and get the pitch count. He got a 9-pitch first inning, so that wasn't very eventful. This is something that you're seeing more and more. 2 strikes. Sam Folk head down until he heard contact. But I think with a strikeout pitcher, you're looking for something other than a fastball when you get 2 strikes on the hitter. So Sanford running on a 1-2 count, which is not your normal count to run on, because Zanino could call a pitch out. And still, even if it was not running, it'd still just be 2-2. But because of the changeup, difficulty of handling the pitch, Sanford taking off and does force a hitter to try to make contact to protect with 2 strikes.
Fold inches off again. There's the pitch out. Fold was not going.
So few pitch outs are called by the catcher anymore. It's like Zanino peeked a little bit. Ball hit him on the heel of the catcher. Man, he was not running. Sam was not going to be taken off on that one until the ball momentarily got away from Zanino. Usually the call comes from the bench as far as pitch outs.
Fold goes, and the ball's popped up foul territory. And Sam Ford is going to have to hustle back. And Zanino throws, and Hernandez digs it out, and they got him. Sam Ford was at second base, so he had to hustle back, and he could not get back, and Hernandez made a terrific dig. Scooped it out. Bob Melvin wants to make sure that he was indeed out on a close play.
Felix is there because the first baseman was helping with the runner. Now watch Sam a second. He's sliding. You have to retouch second base. Did he? He's out anyway at first base, but I don't know if he stepped over the bag at second, if he touched it on his way. But boy, what a great double play turn by the Mariners.
There's some more quality defense by Seattle. Morrison has it, spins around, underhand, side retired, leadoff walk, nothing else for the Athletics, and we're moving to the 4th inning, and we are scoreless.
2015 Topps Friday Family Packs are good at every Friday home game, subject to availability. You can get 4 Plaza Level tickets, 4 Coliseum hot dogs, 4 medium sodas, and 4 bags of peanuts for just $60. And every purchase will also include a Topps baseball card. Go to athletics.com/familypack for tickets.
Top of the order for the Mariners. Jesse Hahn, 9 up, 9 down. No strikeouts, doesn't need it.
Well, that's why he's just thrown 31 pitches, because of no strikeouts.
5 ground ball outs. The Royals are leading the Angels again, 4-1 in the 5th inning.
Didn't take long last night for the Royals to jump on. The leadoff home run by Cole Calhoun, and that was it for the Angels, at least early.
Hanging curveball skied to left. Canna shading his eyes. And like he had his glove in the perfect spot.
Let's hope so, because that is a tough son. Sam Fuld, unfortunately, as he hit the bag, watch what he does. When you touch the bag, you have to touch the bag going back. And so I could guess that if he wasn't out at first, he's going to be out at second.
Saw it.
Yeah. And I think there was Brian Gorman, the second base umpire, definitely saw it. It's just a matter of whether an infielder did, but I think it became a moot point when they got him at first.
First pitch to Seth Smith is a strike. In that game down in Anaheim, it's Ventura and Wilson, the starting pitchers, and Albert Pujols hit a home run early in that game. Career home run number 522. That's the only run so far. And the Royals, Ray, are 5-0. They haven't lost yet.
Well, they're better because the Tigers in the same division are the same. Because they
Tigers are acting like they may go 162-0. Tigers won today 8-5 in Cleveland, so Detroit is 6-0. The only other undefeated team coming in today was the Atlanta Braves. They have lost today.
Nobody expected them to do that, considering the fire sale. It seemed like everybody. They acquired Johnny Gomes in the offseason, signed him as a free agent, but traded a whole bunch.
Toward full, right there. So it's always fun to look at some of the things that happened in the first week of this season.
Have that series in Cleveland by the Tigers. I think Miguel Cabrera at one time was 8 for 11 with the home run.
So here's what he did, Ray.
Yeah,
because today he was 4 for 4 today. He was 11 for 14 with 6 RBIs in the series, and he's 13 for 25 to start the season.
And he had a slow spring training. They started him slowly because he's coming off surgery.
So the Tigers scoring runs in bunches very early, and they're 6-0.
They saved $200 million with Max Scherzer, who's with the Nationals. Turned down, what, 160 last year with the Tigers? 140, 160, something like that.
Makes you wonder if they will, when it's all said and done, end up signing David Price.
Yeah. Just because of that?
Yeah. 1-2 to Robinson Cano.
There's that good overhand curveball from Jesse Hahn, and I mentioned he's got a good one. It's one that with his height, and he told us in San Francisco when we had him in the exhibition and talking to him, he talked about how he tries to get the ball down with his curveball, which is rare in itself. 12-6, he's right over the top, and then it comes in with a good hard fastball down like that.
Good pitch right in the outside corner. So Cano gets caught looking. That's the first strikeout for Jesse Hahn. 12 up, 12 down for Hahn, and we're going to the bottom of the 4th. All right, time for our T-Mobile game changer yesterday. 10th inning. Watch the relay, folks. This is the winning run. Game's going to be over, right? A perfect relay. And then Miller with the big double. So Brad Miller, defense, offense, a big part of the win yesterday. And another one of the nice defensive plays made by the Mariners. And that one saved the game.
Yes, it did.
First pitch, breaking ball, a strike to Butler, who singled leading off the second. He's had 3 singles in the second inning off Hernandez, but could not get a run across. Butler high and fouled on the right field line. As we look out, Ray, nice crowd today. Not a sellout, but a nice crowd nonetheless. He's had 30,000 on Friday, 24,000 yesterday.
Well, he has played good baseball on this homestand to start the season. And
right field, that's hit pretty well. Cruz on the move, still on the move, and it bounces up against the wall. And Billy Butler digging for 2, and he's got a double.
Well, we know Big Country has the power to go to the opposite field, which we have seen him throughout his great career. And great to see a breaking ball, the 2 strikes, and it goes opposite field. Just kind of went with it. Zunino ready to catch what he hoped to be a strike 3. Instead, Big Country had a bounce high off the wall. Cruz still showing a very, very strong arm. He played a lot of outfield with Texas, but more of a DH. But having a little country breakfast and swinging like that, you can have anything you want.
Here's Ike Davis. Davis struck out looking in the second inning.
Contact is the most important thing, and if they're playing him shift and stay outside with him as Felix did in the first pitch, that would be a good one to just go to the opposite field. He hit a big one off the wall yesterday in left center.
Drive, 1-1. Davis is 4 for 8 in the series. Pretty straight away. Stephen Vogt will be next.
After you see that fastball running away, and with everybody shifted to the right side, Miller playing their second, the whole left side of the infield, you just think drag the bat and just go that way with it. See the opening on the left side. They expect Ike Davis to pull anything and everything regardless of location.
Right up the middle, center field, the base hit. Butler's going to be held. No, he's not, because Jackson let the ball get past him. And now everybody's going to be safe, including Butler, who scores.
And fortunately, throw it to second and not home.
They were holding Butler until Jackson let the ball slide past him.
Well, Country Breakfast had stopped completely at third, and to get that big body moving again, not that easy. But the throw, the aggressiveness of Ike Davis with the ball up the middle, but then going into second when Jackson missed it, he must have thought Butler was going to score easily. Off his glove, and then he threw to second instead of home, and a hard slide by Ike Davis into Cano, but he was going to be held at third. That's why the air is on center field. Get it going, big boy. And Country Breakfast able to score without a throw. Fortunately, the throw going to second. So a great hit by Ike Davis. No RBI, but the A's will take the run anyway.
Here's Vogt.
Up the middle, and he ran hard to first, maybe thinking to round in the bag. Right there is when he kicked it in gear once Jackson missed the ball. And fortunately, Jackson got a glove on it to at least keep it close.
Vogt hits it hard, fair down the right field line. Davis will score easily. Vogt digging for second, and he's going to try for third. And Morrison's relay is late. Stephen Vogt with a triple.
Stephen Vogt was sick as a dog yesterday. Came in the game. I said, how you feeling today? I'm getting there. I'm feeling better. Well, he felt very, very well on this one. Logan Morrison could not come up with it, and Nelson Cruz in right field. Something happened. And Stephen Vogt was going to be happy with a double. But he's thinking two. Pick up the third base coach. Mike Gallego doesn't break stride, able to continue on to third base. And last year, Stephen Vogt in Seattle took King Felix deep. So he gets a triple today after homering last year against Felix. And that's a big, big extra 90 feet because now the infield's probably going to have to play in. So Stephen Vogt, a rare triple for a catcher. Opposite field double with 2 strikes. Base hit up the middle by Davis, and now triple by Stephen Vogt. So the key there is he picked up Mike Gallego. You don't have to look back. Just look at your third base coach. He'll tell you what's going on, and he gets the triple.
So the A's have 6 hits off of Felix Hernandez so far today. Swing and a miss with the infield in. Laurie had a base hit in the second. Laurie now 7 hits and 24 at bats to start this season. Swing and a miss 0-2.
That's a change up there. Well, you have to wonder, Cap, with the Jackson error, it allowed Ike Davis to go to second. If it's a single, which it should have been, first and third, nobody out. Logan Morrison's still on the bag, and maybe the ball by Vogt doesn't get by him the way he did because he's playing off the bag with the left-hander with the runner at second base. So all the little things that happen when a miscue occurs, and we talked about it yesterday when plays just weren't made and what happened as a result of the game. And Jackson, and really can't understand why a guy charges a ball like that when you know the guy's not going to be sent from second base. Billy Butler does not run well enough to be sent on a ball to center field.
Pop up, foul territory. Morrison may have a play, and he does.
Only in Oakland.
So 1 out here in the 4th.
Now batting, right fielder.
I think
number 22.
The ramifications of defensive mistakes are easily overlooked in baseball because you think about offense and you think about the pitcher and how he's doing. But if you just stop and look back at a game and look at the defensive good plays and the mistakes and how it affects the outcome of the game, you'd be surprised. We have certainly seen that in this series.
Cruz home run yesterday, a 3-run home run. And if the play is executed properly, it's a double play. Cruz doesn't even hit.
Yeah, that's right.
He hits the next inning, maybe with nobody on base, but gets a mistake pitch. It's a 3-run home run. A's did come back with tie, but that was big.
Big swing by Reddick. 1-1 the count.
Now Felix just trying to do something with a runner at third and nobody out. Actually gets 1 big out. Jesse Hans perfect through 4 innings. Gets some run support. 1 more already they got total in the game Tuesday night when he pitched against the Rangers.
And now 1-2. Reddick way out ahead of that one.
And the worst case is to make contact and see what happens at that point. It's a changeup and way out in front, and maybe lucky there that there was no contact because nothing good was going to come out of that.
Remember the fastball just a bit high. 2-2 the count. 1 strikeout so far for Felix Hernandez. Reddick just looking for a fly ball.
And you have to wonder if Stephen Vogt goes on contact 1 out. Usually that is the plan, but it's a matter of what the A's decide to do if there's a ground ball.
Shot center field, and that's a base hit. Vogt will trot home, and it's 3-0.
Welcome back, Josh. What a big hit. Boy, he had a chance at the bases over the first time. Didn't get it done this time, though. Felix Hernandez got elevated another pitch with 2 strikes. This is unusual. A pitch right there for the taking, right back up the middle. And Josh Reddick hits the fastball, did not go back to the changeup when he swung over it. Gets a fastball instead. So Reddick, big run batted in, and that's a big one, making it 3-0.
Still only 1 out for Simeon. Fouled right at home plate. Simeon hit a fly ball to center field in the 2nd inning. So 3 hits in the 2nd inning for the A's. They did not score. Here in the 4th, 4 hits, and they've scored 3 runs. Towards short, out at 2nd, and that's a double play. But the A's get 3 runs on 4 hits off Felix Hernandez. So we're going to the 5th inning. A's now have a 3-0 lead.
MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. What's a widget? Widget's on your phone?
Yeah, it's a little thingy-dooey on your phone.
Thingy-dooey?
Yep.
Do you have a thingy-dooey on yours?
Yeah, it's called a widget.
Can you show me on mine what a thingy-dooey is?
I'll show you on the plane.
Okay.
By the way, what we showed Stephen Vogt doing, he wasn't doing that during the commercial break. He was doing that pregame.
Yep.
He does it every game, right?
Yes, they do. And we saw Josh Phegley yesterday and Stephen Vogt today. And actually, both catchers work with Marcus Jensen. I mean, what a great job. And we saw it yesterday with Phegley blocking balls. And they work on it down in the bullpen. You know, and we can show that without a glove. When you take off your catcher's mitt and you're catching balls back and forth, it puts your hand in the proper position.
And that's really all they're doing, right? Just hand positioning.
Exactly. Catch the ball, you're moving, and this is the starting catcher today, and he's working down with Marcus Jensen. And
big curve, and Cruz swings and misses. That's the Jesse Hahn overhand curve.
Remember, against Prince Fielder, he threw it so hard it went into the knee with 2 strikes. This one breaking away, sharp breaker, and boy, that from a hitter standpoint, it looks good, and all of a sudden it drops, the bottom drops out. So Tell you the success Jesse Hahn had against the Mariners last year. He was great for the first 4 innings, then gave up a run, but he did win the game that he pitched, similar to what he's doing today.
That's right. That was in June in San Diego in an interleague game against these Mariners.
There's the 2 career versus Seattle today, and of course 2014 last year. And you know, the team is pretty similar with the exception of Cruz, so it's not like he's like Felix for 10 years. He's faced the A's in 36 starts counting today, so he's seen a different lineup, different types of players. But in case of Hahn, he has some familiarity with this team that he's seen today, and pitching extremely well. He's got 3 runs on the board. He got 1. Pitching well on Tuesday.
A 2 pitch. Good spot for an 0-2 pitch. Seager fouls it back. Seager hit a fly ball to left field, his first at bat. 2 for 9 in the series. The Mariners will head down south after the game today, and they will open up a series against the Dodgers, interleague series. Simeon has it right past Hahn. Davis could not dig it out. I think Simeon he didn't let it go when he threw it.
Well, you could see him kind of adjusting. He's done it a couple of times, and what infielders seem to do is they catch the ball when they have some time, make sure they have a good grip, but then he threw it down. Ike Davis normally really great at picking balls, and he just did not throw it, with the arm strength that he has, and he scooped at first, and Ike Davis had it hit in the heel of the glove and could not hang on. So the first base runner, and it should have been an easy out. But it's all about the grip, making sure you get the 4-seam grip, and he said it's me. But if you have time, you can rotate the ball in your glove or in your hand before you throw, and anybody with the exception of a pitcher wants to throw the ball with the 4 seams and throw it straight. Pitcher, of course, wants to get movement.
So that's 8 errors committed by the Athletics this year.
And Jesse Hahn out of the stretch for the first time today.
Morrison tries to bunt against the shift.
Well, anytime the ball is in the dirt, while Mike Davis is very good at picking, and we've seen in this homestand some throws from Brett Laurie from third base. He's done a tremendous job. Mark Cann is also. But when the ball's in the dirt like that, you cannot, when you go down with your glove, assume it's going to go in the pocket. If it goes in the pocket, it's out. It hit the heel of the glove. And when it hits the dirt, it's not a true bounce. You never think it's going to be as true as you hope.
Strike on the inside corner, 1-2.
That says a lot about Ike Davis, because first baseman can save so many errors from infield with the way they're able to pick some throws.
So the Mariners go to play the Dodgers Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they'll be back home for 9 games. So that's what's coming up.
Big overhand, big overhand curveball from Morrison, just barely ticked it, and no chance for Stephen Vogt.
Showed him the big curve. See if he goes back to it.
Be a special time in Los Angeles, because it will be the 15th when the Mariners are there, and Jackie Robinson.
That's right, good call.
Jackie Robinson,
Wednesday.
of course, wrote the Color Berry in 1947, and every number 42, especially now with Mariano Rivera retiring, all number 42s around baseball retired forever.
The A's gray number 42 jerseys were worked on by Cliff Clavin. They will make the trip to Houston.
That's right. Those who pack them up in a separate container along with every other trunk that he has to pack. And that's the 42. And all around baseball, they will recognize the number 42 on Wednesday the 15th.
And as an announcer, what you really want to do is, if you're broadcasting that game where everybody's wearing number 42, you want it to be a team that you're familiar with. If it's not,
no names.
No names.
And we will be on the air. That is an add-on. If you have a schedule, it shows it is radio only, but Comcast Sportsnet California has added that game, so we'll be able to televise with all those 42s in white and gray. The Astros in high definition, we'll be able to see all the number 42s.
On at second, and that's a double play. Still no hits for the Mariners through 5 as we go to the bottom of the 5th. The A's lead 3-0.
Free Parking Tuesday, driven by Chevy, are back for most Tuesday home games this season. All fans park for free at these games, and 500 tickets in the Plaza Reserve section are available for each Chevy Free Parking Tuesday for only $5. That is a great deal. Purchase online at athletics.com/Tuesday and use promo code Chevy while supplies last. That is a great deal, folks. Everybody says, what's about some deals? Well, there it is. I just said it. Free Parking Tuesdays, $5 plazas, and expect to see that would be the next homestand. We get to Angels. The Astros in for the weekend. Off day Monday the 27th and the 28th, 9th, and 30th. That's a Tuesday night, unless the Warriors are playing. You know the schedule yet for the Warriors?
I don't think they know it yet, but it's
what a successful season for the Warriors, and congratulations with them. Still remember young Steph Curry when he came up here. What a pleasure that was to have the young man up in the booth and talking, and such a nice young man.
You never hear anything bad about him, that's for sure.
Well, ever since he's been up here, I know I've been kind of following his career, and you're right. It's all positive. I think you had broadcast a game that season when we had him up here. Did you do one?
He had 50 points. So 3-1 to fold. Fold walked in the 3rd. Swung at ball 4 there. Instead, he hit it down off his foot.
Sam, with that stride, he opens up. Not as drastic as Nelson Cruz, but that ball straight down, sinker from Felix Hernandez, not giving in on the 3-1. As a result, ball off the top of the foot and the ankle, and it's the front one anyway. So, oh wow,
that hurts.
Grab a shin guard, Steve Vucinich, and bring it on the road trip. Sam probably will need one tomorrow night.
So 3-2, Canada followed, then Zobrist. Bottom of the 5th inning. Outfield very shallow for Full. Right at home plate. He's got 3 runs in the 4th inning off Felix Hernandez. Last time Hernandez gave up 3 earned runs in 1 inning was August 22nd of last year, and he did not do that a lot last year. But all 3 runs were on a Cespedes home run at Fenway Park. Full hits it hard, and that's fair. Bounces off the side wall. Cruz hustles in to pick it up, and Full will have a double. 8 hits on Felix Hernandez.
And that Kipe is the 5th 2-strike hit for the Athletics this afternoon. And again, Felix elevating a pitch uncharacteristic of his ability to get the ball down, especially in the counts. And so the A's taking advantage today, getting a great performance from Jesse Hahn in the offense. At this point, 3 runs, and Sam Full leads off with a double.
His command has not been good today. Canna has grounded out and fouled out. And he lines with a Cano, who hustles to the bag, but he's late getting there.
Well, good idea. Almost a perfect at-bat by Mark Canna, who at least attempted, stayed inside and did a very good job trying to hit the ball to the right side to advance Sam Full and maybe trying to get him in. See that inside-out swing. And Sam Full this time, unlike his last at-bat when he doubled off first, this time he gets back. Line drive, you always get back to the base where you're originating from, and if he goes through, you're at least going to get the 3rd, maybe score anyway. Good effort by Canna.
So 1 out for Zobrist, who has grounded out to short and grounded out to first. Zobrist is 4 for 10 in this series. Low, 2-0 the count. Butler to follow.
75th pitch thrown by Felix in the 5th inning with 1 out. 9-pitch first inning, 3 relatively easy ground ball outs.
Bouncer fair. Morrison has it. And Hernandez gets to the bag. 2 outs. The Full now at 3rd. Eric will need a 2-out hit.
Eric O'Flaherty talked after yesterday's game about a play that they work on so often. That's a pickoff at second base. Another play that they work on, pitchers that is, that when a ground ball is hit to the right side, and especially a first baseman, they're coming first. They hit the bag and immediately turn around and look in case Sam Full, who has speed, thinks about scoring from second. If you run out the line and you don't turn around and look, pretty good chance that runner is going to continue to go to home. So Felix, very good at the fundamental side of the game.
Butler takes a little bit inside, 1-0. Good afternoon for Butler. Single double run scored. Now 10 for 25 on the year. Sits safely in all of the A's 7 games.
A week from this weekend, he'll be back in Kansas City. A's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday in Kansas City. Take on the Royals, the team of country breakfast.
Royals are leading the Angels. It's now 7-1 in the 6th inning. Royals trying to go to 6-0 on the year.
I think the Angels are hoping very quickly that, and pitching coaches like Rick White's thinking the same thing, that Garrett Richards comes back sooner than later. He's starting his rehab and probably will be coming back pretty soon.
So Butler with a walk. So 2 walks and just 1 strikeout for Hernandez so far.
Now
Billy Butler in the 4th inning. Ike Davis back up the middle of a hanging curveball and stopping at third. He was, and Jackson came in, took his eye off the ball, and then Butler had to pick it up and start all over it from a dead stop. And that is not easy to do for anybody, especially big country, but he got the job done. He scored what turned out to be the first run, and that was after an 0-2. Now they're checking on him. That's not good. And the trainer goes out. Lower extremities, ankle or something. I don't know if what's happening.
Start to throw. A whole lot of people standing on the mound right now.
Yeah. Well, the most concerned, this guy and this guy, care about anybody else. They're concerned about their main guy. And it's the trainer and the manager.
Well, he's going to stay in there, and he'll face Ike Davis, 1st and 3rd, 2 outs.
Remember, he came in the league, how big he was and how much, really, as he said, fat was on his body, and he lost it.
Yep.
September 27th. Against the A's, last to start.
Right to Cano, who scoops it out. So retired A's strand a pair, and we are through 5 at the O.co Coliseum. 3-0 the A's lead. A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Prism. Now your team can collaborate at a whole new level with video walls from Prism. Learn how at prism.com. A's trying to head out on their first road trip of the year on a winning note. They come into the game with 3-3 record. Mariners are 2-3. The crowd this afternoon just announced 32,282. Checking in on Felix Hernandez, see if he's okay. What we also have is Jesse Hahn has not a lot of hit through 5 innings. How about that?
That is outstanding. He is doing his part today.
Only base runner was Seager. He reached on an error. Driven to right. That's hit well. Reddick's bat turns around and it's off the out-of-town scoreboard. And there's the first hit. It's a double by Ackley. So Ackley who homered earlier in this series, has a double.
And Jesse Hahn, just really not a bad pitch. It was down low, but what do they say about left-handed hitters? They like low pitches, and that was there. Josh Reddick usually plays the wall, the scoreboard, but when it hits the out-of-town scoreboard, you never know how it's going to come off the wall.
Here's Zunino. Zunino, a line drive. That's a base hit. And they will stop Ackley at third. So Zunino goes after the first pitch. He lines one to right. And just like that, the Mariners are in business. First and third, nobody out.
I remember we talked yesterday. Sonny Gray, who's a very good pitcher, he was on the weather a little bit. Zunino, this pitch elevated, and Zunino opposite field hitting.
Miller.
Power hitter, but this time goes the opposite field. But you go through the batting order. It's been twice and very successful 2 times for. Actually, this is the second time at the bottom part of the batting order. The second time through. Hahn had faced the minimum through 5 innings.
So here's Miller. First pitch, a strike to Miller, who bounced out to Laurie to end the 3rd inning.
You keep the fastball down in that territory, that location, you take your chances.
Infield double play depth, outfield pretty deep, and looks straight away from Miller. Hits one high in the air, left center. Ackley will tag full. He's got it. So plenty deep for a sacrifice fly. Run comes in. That's Ackley, and it's now 3-1.
Sam Ford taking charge in center field, which is a good idea because a better angle for him with the sun. And he threw a perfect strike back into second, making sure Zunino was not going to tag also.
Jackson.
So Miller gets his 3rd RBI of the year. And now to the top of the order in Austin Jackson. The next 2 hitters become very important because I prefer not to get to Cano, Cruz, and Seager in this inning. If you do, then you probably got some issues. So 0-2 to Jackson.
And Jackson with a breaking ball away from him, and it's a good pitch. He has power. The hits he has gotten in this series have been fastballs on the inner part of the plate Friday night.
Rolls that one foul past Laurie, headed down toward the A's bullpen. Jackson today a ground out to short, fly ball to left. 3 for 11 in the series. There's your pitch count for Hahn, 65. Setting up inside. Missing the target badly, so the count 1-2.
Missed the target, but not a bad pitch. It looked like it could have been a strike. And it's the case where
strike.
It's a strike. I mean, it had the height, and just because the location was inside doesn't mean that Mike Muro has to call it the ball. Stephen Vogt caught it okay.
Right off the end of the bat. Chris Woodward, a routine play for a first base coach, but he could not come up with it. Zunino, the runner at first, not a lot of speed there. 2-2. The form is good.
Stopwatch and a stopwatch in left hand. Probably that affected him.
Stephen Vogt is talking to the umpire, and it looks like they may be talking about the count.
It's 2-2. What are they saying? But Steve Woodward also was asking, is it 3-2 or 2-2? You got 2-2 with 2 foul balls.
Now it's 3-2.
Well, curveball just did not break down enough from Mike DeMuro, the home plate umpire. I guess his bell-tie strike zone is not there.
Looking into the dugout. Runner goes. Pitches outside in the dirt, and Jackson behind in the count 0-2 ends up walking.
Well, they must have respected his power enough that they threw him a curveball 3-2 that was not even close. Backed it up 2-2 and 3-2. Kurt Young to visit.
That's the first walk issued by Jesse Hahn.
It looks like Felix is finished for the day. The
yep.
bullpen, is that still Farquhar?
Yeah, it is, and he's been down there throwing for a while.
In the game yesterday, and see if the A's bullpen starts to move around a little bit.
Seth Smith.
So Seth Smith to hit. And Mariners making it interesting here in the top of the 6th inning. Pitch to Smith is outside. Smith has hit a fly ball to the left. That was in the first. And a fly ball to center. That was in the 4th. Zunino at second. Jackson at first. Shot. Davis has it. He'll get the out at first on a flip to Hahn. And a big play by Mike Davis. Ball was hit very hard.
Well, that saved a base hit, an RBI, and probably a first and third. And Ike Davis, watch the feed after he makes the play. Look at how long and how far in front he feeds to Jesse Hahn, so Hahn can catch the ball and look back to third. But now you have the very tough Robinson Cano, but a nice feed by Ike Davis to the tall frame of Jesse Hahn. Tag the bag and look back. So nice defensive play by Ike Davis. And here's the challenge of the day. Do have the option of pitching him carefully if you want, because right-handed is the on-deck circle, but probably will not do that. Go right after him.
First pitch, strike down around the knees to Robinson Cano. Cano has grounded out and he has struck out. And he's 0 for 10 in the series.
Robbie was taking that fastball all the way. Thought it was a little bit low.
Missed outside.
I think that makes Cano so dangerous. And we have talked about it as long as he's been the Yankees and now with the Mariners, that he uses a whole field. In New York with a short porch in right field, he hit a lot of home runs, changed his stroke a little bit, but he has always been a line-to-line hitter and makes him very dangerous.
Shoots that one down the left field line, and that's foul. youngster made a nice catch. Gonna show it off a little bit. Get some high fives. Tell his buddies.
Catch it on the rebound.
He had a bottle of water in his hand too. That's a good play. Lost his hat. He'll go back and get the hat. Big pitch. 1-2 the count to Cano.
Cap, it seems like, in watching Stephen Vogt behind the plate and Hahn pitch as Cruz waits in the on-deck circle, that it's almost as if they're trying to make their pitch, see if they can get Cano out. They've elevated a couple of fastballs after getting ahead 0-1 and 1-2. They're taken by Cano. Up again with the fastball.
Cano fouls it back again left side.
I think watching that, it's the old assumption of a left-handed hitter down on the zone. Be careful. So they're trying to elevate, and Hahn's doing a good job of getting the ball up. A couple missing, that one fouled. Under its second moment of silence.
Another foul ball, and the battle continues. Hahn and Cano.
And another high fastball. You know, the A's just hope he cooperates and hits a pop-up with one of those high fastballs. Gets up, he tries to get on top of everything, and even the high fastball.
Now full count. Nelson Cruz would be next.
Well, first base is open, and you do not have to give in to him, and it looks like they have not in the 7 pitches that he's seen. He hasn't thrown a curveball yet in this event.
Throws one there, and it's a line drive. Reddick coming in, and Reddick had it. He dropped it, and 2 runs are going to score, and this ball game is tied. A line shot. Reddick came in, just popped out of his glove, and it's 3-3.
And you know, it looked like he tried to basket catch, and there is the curveball, and he hit it hard. He did not throw it the same that he threw to Austin Jackson. And as Josh Reddick charged, see, he tried to basket catch, hit him the heel of the glove, and the normally sure-handed Reddick had it up in the heel and hit hard and bounced away, and with both runners on the move and with 2 outs, unearned runs, but they still count.
So it is indeed an E9. Zunino and Jackson both score. So the defense comes into play.
Yeah.
Reddick got a good jump. He always gets a good jump.
And maybe that time to a fault, because when he did charge, the ball hit very hard. Hit very hard by Cano, and the only curveball in the at-bat. And I think in this inning, and again, the curveball stayed up, and Cano all over it, and Josh Reddick looked like he changed his direction momentarily, maybe knuckling on him a little bit, but it was just hit very hard and right at him, and that's usually one that you see him catch and head back to the dugout.
So 2-0 the count.
And they're worrying about Cano first. I think it's something they should not be concerned about, as this has been a very stressful inning. 26 pitches for Hahn. He gives up his first hit, the double to Ackley.
Missed again, and now it's 3-0. So Hahn will go for a little walk.
I wonder if Felix is going to talk his way back in the game. Now it's all even. Look out here on the 3-0.
And Cruz takes a strike. Cruz a fly ball to center and a strikeout. 3 for 11 in the series.
Flaherty gets loose.
And Cano is running, but the pitch is a ball, and Cruz walks. So second walk this inning by Jesse Hahn.
Okay, in this inning, the Austin Jackson walk.
Now
started 0-2 and kept throwing curveballs, 2-2 and 3-2, and ended up walking him. He is usually very aggressive, very difficult to walk. He likes to swing the bat. And that was a big walk because that put a couple of runners on. And that was after the sac fly by Miller. And then a ground ball out. Great play by Ike Davis, but it did move up both runners in the scoring position, and E9 ties the game.
Well, now you face Seager. Always a tough out. Started with the Ackley double. That was the first hit of the game for Seattle. Double, single, sac fly, walk, ground out, E9, and another walk.
And in the first 5 innings, Jesse Hahn was averaging 9 pitches per inning, a total of 45 through 5 innings, which is remarkable. You're looking at 10 to 12. If you can do that, that's an exceptional inning per pitches per inning.
Line drive, full coming in. He's going to play it on a hop. Here comes Cano. Here comes the throw to the plate, and not in time. Cano did not slide. Vogt tried the swipe tag, just a touch late, and the Mariners have taken the lead.
And with the throw all the way to the plate, both runners advance, but I don't know, the on-deck circle hitter, Morrison, should have been there telling him to slide. Maybe he was, and Cano ran through, but that's how close it was. A throw, and you know, Cap, there's a case where a catcher was not in front of the plate, and they're going to see if maybe they got him. They did not, and maybe this is more of a see where he's positioned. Of course, if he's on the plate, he doesn't catch it anyway.
So Bob Melvin is going to make a pitching change. And Jesse Hahn, who not allow a hit through the first 5 innings, things fall apart here in the 6th. So O'Flaherty coming in when it's time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Oakland Athletics and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Athletics Investment Group, LLC.
So the Mariners have scored 4 times here in the 6th inning. They've knocked out Jesse Hahn.
And you know who the pitcher of record is for the Mariners?
Felix Hernandez. 4 runs, just 1 earned. Davis has it as Morrison swings at the first pitch. Side retired. A 4 spot for Seattle. Bottom of the 6th coming up. It'll be Vogt, Laurie, and Reddick. 4-3 Seattle. Time now for the AT&T U-verse rewind. This is the A's scoring 3 against Felix Hernandez in the bottom of the 4th inning, including an error by Austin Jackson. Stephen Vogt with an RBI triple. But then in the top of the 6th, that was the big play right there. 2 runs scored on the Reddick error, and then Seager with the base hit. That would give the Mariners the lead. So that's your AT&T U-verse rewind. Find out what's possible with AT&T. Call 1-800-PIC-ATT, mobilizing your world. So now the A's trail, and Danny Farquhar comes in. So Hernandez done after 5 innings. When it's time for change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up, your oil change tune-up and small experts. 4th appearance already for Farquhar. He pitched yesterday. 17 pitches in 1 inning of work. So the Mariners, who have used their bullpen quite a bit in this series.
Well, and they have a good one too, as we know. And that, well, they have their great pitcher out after 5 innings, who is a pitcher of record. They have a very strong bullpen, and Stephen Vogt takes 3. After getting a couple of hits off King Felix, a single and a triple, and got talking to Rick Riz, the radio announcer for the Mariners, and he said Monday when Felix pitched, he had a cramping in his right leg. In the last couple of innings, he felt a little bit in his right leg. It seemed like today he was shaking his right leg. So Matt Laurie doing as he did in the first at bat against King Felix, jumping on the first pitch fastball. This one passing Donnie Miller into left center field.
So 9 hits now for the Athletics, a couple of them by Laurie. Just 1 strikeout today for Felix Hernandez. A couple of walks. So Reddick hits for the 3rd time. He knocked in a run in the 4th. The Mariners bullpen on Friday night, 4 2/3 innings pitched. yesterday, 4 2/3 innings pitched, and they'll have some action today as well. Strike called. 2-1 to Reddick with Simeon to follow. Royals still leading the Angels. It's now 9-2 in the 7th inning.
Texas is trailing in 4-0 one time, but tied Houston now in the extra innings. That's a strange one there.
Angels will head to Texas after the game. Open up a road trip. Down at Arlington. Get a good swing, fouls it back part of the lower level. Well, the Astros really struggling to score runs the first week. First 5 games they scored a total of 10 runs. They got 4 today.
Was that one time 4-0? Because I thought I looked
think
on
it
the board and I
was.
thought I saw 4-0.
Be at Minute Maid Park tomorrow night. First of 3. Quite a few new faces on that Astros team. Runner goes. Ball is popped up foul territory. Morrison looking for it, can't find it. Cano reaches for it, he can't get it.
Well, that's good for the A's because that's ball 4. That was a breaking ball up and in, and it looked like it was going to hit Reddick, but he turned on it, and all this foul territory. And Uncle Morrison at least telling Cano he didn't find it. Then at the last instant might have found it. Here comes Cano, and he couldn't handle it as he tried to basket catch nearing the warning track. Already 2 big outs for the Mariners today with the A's hitting because of expensive foul territory here at the Coliseum. Was trying to throw a wild pitch, almost threw one to Reddick early, and then trying to throw one past Morrison at first.
Reddick hits it hard to Cano. He spins around, fires to second for one, back to first. Not in time. He beat the threat. A fielder's choice. So speaking of that Astros series, here's your pitching matchups. Kazmir, Feldman, and then Kendall Graben on Tuesday. Ray, who's he facing on Tuesday?
Marcus
Wojciechowski.
All right, Asher Wojciechowski. And then Drew Pomeranz against Colin McHugh.
I caught a pitcher named
Asher Wojciechowski.
No, actually not. No, I was thinking there's a pitcher by the name of Wojciechowski pitch for the A's.
Steve
Wojciechowski, yeah. It's good memory, man.
Astros, Jed Lowry, Colby Rasmus, Evan Gaddis, Valbuena, new third baseman.
Pat Neshek from bullpen. What a
Gregerson.
It's close.
Lots of changes. Simeon reaches for it. And that will do it. So a hit, nothing else for the Athletics. And we're moving to the 7th. 4-3 Seattle.
Fans get the Sean Doolittle Silhouette Fleece Blanket presented by Kelly Moore Paints on Tuesday, May the 12th, when the A's host the Boston Red Sox. 15,000 fans will walk away this green and gold fleece blanket that pays homage to Sean Doolittle's signature pose. Get tickets now at athletics.com/tickets.
Saw Sean Doolittle playing catch today out on the outfield grass, which was nice to see. He has yet to.
How about his pose?
Pose was, well, he didn't use the pose. He's not quite ready yet. He has not thrown off a mound yet. So there's still really no timetable on when Sean Doolittle will be back. We hope soon. Be a little time yet. O'Flaherty will face Ackley, Zunino, and Miller. So a quick 0-2 to Ackley. Ackley, a ground out and a double. Rolls that one at the plate.
Did you hear Mike Selleck?
Tightness in his right quad was the report on Felix Hernandez. Precautionary. Second start of the year. Probably a good idea to get him out of there.
I was hoping his bullpen can give him now 9 outs since Farquhar got 3. As he leaves the game after 5 innings. He's a pitcher of record.
Again fouls it. That one rolls into the on deck circle. Line drive into right center field, a hit for Ackley.
Cap, we talked at the beginning of the season and spring training that the A's, a lot of new faces, and if they pitch and catch the ball, then they have a chance to win some games.
Now batting, number 3.
That formula has not worked out 100% in the first homestand. So I'm sure it's something that maybe a 9-game road trip will help out. 3 cities and it's in a different environment. But boy, pitching is always important, but you also have to play great defense.
Zunino singles to left. So Ackley and Zunino open up the top of the 7th with singles, and here come the Mariners again.
And lefty on lefty, you figure here comes a sacrifice from Ed Miller, who is the 9th place hitter, the left-hander, and ball towards the end of the bat, kind of charging in and looked up and peeked in just enough and get the ball in front of him.
So 5 hits now for the Mariners. A's have 9. So we'll see if indeed Miller does bunt. Corner infielders come in. And foul. Miller had a sacrifice fly in the 6th inning. That was the first run scored by Seattle. They scored 4 in that inning. Austin Jackson will be next.
Trying to keep the runner at second close, and of course for Miller, he's trying to bunt the ball to Lowry to get him to field the ball. It's definitely not the rotation.
One bunted foul again.
Off the foot of Miller and kicked by Miller to make sure it was going foul.
So now it's 0-2. Will Lloyd McClendon ask him to bunt again?
Well, considering what he did yesterday against Abad down on the field line, who knows what Lowry thinks so as he continues to play in on the grass.
And Ike Davis will let this one roll foul.
Yeah, that's a big strikeout there.
So that's a strikeout. Miller cannot get the job done. He had 3 opportunities.
And even the third one looked like he tried to drag it instead of just turning around and sacrificing. And of course, he kind of jabbed at the ball, and that created the spin. He did square around, give him that much credit, but Ike Davis, a very smart play, knowing that if this ball is foul, it's a strikeout because of 3 attempts to bunt and hit, spun, and you could see it was going to roll foul.
So now top of the order in Jackson. Jackson with a ground out, a fly out, and then a big walk in the 6th inning. He later scored. Good swing there, fouls it straight back. Seth Smith, the on deck hitter. Both bullpens are quiet. Down the right field line, Reddick moving over, and it's just foul. So the count 0-2 to Austin Jackson.
And he tried to shoot the ball to the right side, maybe protect him with a couple of strikes, but almost dropped the ball in fair.
Which is a fastball outside. Ricky Weeks has come out into the on deck circle.
It'll be here, Ruggiano, one of the two. Nobody warming up the A's bullpen, so Florida would stay in.
2-2 to Jackson. Ackley, the runner at second, decent speed. Zunino is at first. Trying to move around in that A's bullpen now. Outside 22. Looks like Evan Scribner.
Well, it looks like another 0-2 to 3-2 for Austin Jackson, which was big last inning. Up walking.
Simeon charges, runners were moving, so the out will be at first. So 2 outs, and it will be Ricky Weeks hitting for Smith, the DH.
Your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. For Seattle, number 25, Ricky Weeks.
As quickly as relievers get loose, Scribner could get loose in time to come in to face this right-hander. Bob Melvin decided, but evidently it's not going to be the case. Maybe it's so, because Vogt's going to talk to O'Flaherty. And you do have Cano in the on-deck circle.
Well, this becomes a very, very big at bat here.
Again,
if you're the A's, you're down by 1. You're going up against a very good bullpen in Seattle. Got to keep it at a 1-run deficit. Weeks takes outside. Weeks played in one of the series. And he was 0 for 5 with 3 strikeouts.
He's a great second baseman for the Brewers for many years and actually played in left field that game.
And he drives this one to center. Full going back, and it is gone. Wow. Ricky Weeks just went center field for a 3-run shot. It sounded good off the bat.
Yes, it did, and no daytime climate here at the Coliseum helped this one. That was just what Ricky Weeks did for so many years with the Brewers, and he just did it to the A's, and that's a huge one because that's 3 runs after single, a missed sacrifice, got a ground out, 2 outs again. So all this happening with 2 outs. Only these 3 are all earned runs. So a 3-run home run yesterday by Nelson Cruz. That was very big, and this is much bigger as it turns a 1-run lead into a 4-run lead.
One pitch to Cano inside. So the inning started with a couple of singles. He certainly quieted the crowd. Cano, foul territory. Laurie may have a play.
Out! Now, it is amazing sometimes when you look at a lineup and you think certain situations, but the fact that Robinson Cano is the on-deck circle. And sure, right-hander's warming up, but you have a lefty on the mound. Critical at bat would be Weeks. If you lose him, at least you have the lefty facing lefty in Cano. And now you face him with the bases empty. So I mean, it's little things that seem to come out, and you just expect, because O'Flaherty's been good against righties as well as lefties, but definitely not today.
So damage done. Ricky Weeks, a pinch hit, 3-run home run. So 7-3 Mariners as we have reached the 7th inning stretch. A note, all with Sportsnet Central. It's coming up this evening at 6 p.m. and it's on our sister station, Comcast Sportsnet Bay Area. All the highlights and clubhouse reaction. Also, Joe Stiglitz with his post-game notes. And the final round of the Masters. Mindy Bach, Henry Wolford will have the show. 7-3. The Mariners lead the A's here at the Coliseum. Bottom of the 7th inning. Danny Farquhar is back out there for his 2nd inning of work. Felix Hernandez went 5. Lloyd McClendon would love to get 2 innings out of Farquhar. Royals still leading the Angels 9-2 in the 8th inning, and the Astros and the Rangers still tied 4-4 in the 11th now down in Arlington. Full. Drives one left center, but Jackson had a good jump next to catch. 1 out in the bottom of the 7th.
Well, the speed of Jackson in center, as we mentioned, he at Comerica Park for many years, and then does the same at Safeco Field. First step is always important for anybody, especially an outfielder, cutting off a ball possibly in the gap. Probably could have been a lifetime 300 hitter if it hadn't been for center field.
Yeah, those doggone center field, those 3 outfielders out there. Tigers beat the Indians today 8-5. Tigers 6-0 on the year. Cabrera with a big start to the season. He had 4 hits today. Tampa Bay beat Miami 8-5. Battle of Florida, interleague battle. Charlie Furbush, left-hander, starts to throw. 1-1 to Canada. 1-2 to Canada. Toronto beat Baltimore 10-7. Toronto 4-2 in the early going. Baltimore 3-3. Red Sox and the Yankees will play tonight, national TV. High fastball, and that's a swing and a miss. So curveball down and away, strike call, fastball up and in. Pretty good pitching by Farquhar.
Well, closer for a little while, but in the role that he is in right now, it's pretty good. And it's a great selection of pitches, and especially to finish it off with a strikeout. So second for him.
So Zobrist hits. Zobrist has grounded out 3 times. Once to short and then a couple times to first. Mariners play Zobrist straight away in the infield and in the outfield. Outside corner 1-2, so Farquhar looks pretty sharp today.
So much different. You come in with a 1-run lead, and all of a sudden you go out the next inning, you have a 4-run lead, and things look pretty good for you.
Tomahawk to right. Cruz, warning track, grabs it, side retired. Farquhar, good 2 innings of work out of the bullpen, and we're moving to the 8th. Mariners 7, A's 3.
A's Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places. And by Xfinity, home of the most live sports.
A's finishing up their first homestand here at the O.Co Coliseum. Nice crowd, 32,000.
Number 23.
It's Little League Day, a whole bunch of Little Leaguers. We're told over 10,000 Little Leaguers. They went around the warning track before the game and then settled into their seats. Always a fun day.
Day they will never forget. Well, at least that part they won't forget.
Cruz lines out the door.
They may want to forget what's transpired.
It was good for the first 5 innings.
Actually, first 5 innings were great.
When it's time for a change, think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change, tune-up, and smog experts. As Evan Scribner comes in. Scribner has not pitched in this series.
15,
his 3rd appearance overall. And we say it was good because the A's had a 5-0 lead And the Mariners never hit yet.
Yeah. Actually, it was a perfecto except for an error, but at that point, all was good.
We were feeling really good. We were puffing our chest out. Changed quickly. 4 in the 6th, 3 in the 7th, and now the A's trail by 4. Seager's 1 for 3. And an RBI single in that 6th inning. In fact, he knocked in the go-ahead run. It was tied 3-3, and he had a 2-out hit.
Cap, you mentioned Scribner's first appearance in this series, but you're saying after the appearance on Thursday, 3 2/3 innings, a career high number of innings, and for a reliever to come in and throw that many innings, so get a little bit of extra time off. That was Thursday. This is Sunday, so he had Friday and Saturday off, or at least not pitching. A good reliever, and he has shown it since joining the Athletics, also from San Diego.
Seager swings over top. Tags put on. Not a foul ball, and that's a strikeout. 2 outs here in the 8th.
Signature curveball from Evan Scribner, and a good one right over the top.
Number 20.
12-6 rotation, and Seager thought he had foul tip. I didn't see much, if any, contact. And Stephen Vogt, good job blocking it, making the tag.
That curve, Morrison takes it, drops low. Morrison has grounded out 3 times. One of those was a 4-6-3 double play. It's this one well to center. Fuld goes back though. He's there. Grabs it inside the target. 3 up, 3 down for Scribner. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Work to do for the Athletics. Game summary brought to you by your local Toyota dealers. Good for the first 5, bad for the last 2.5. Mariners with 4 in the 6th to take the lead, and then a pinch hit by Ricky Weeks, 3-run homer, and it's 7-3. Hernandez exited after 5 innings. Jesse Hahn was good, then things fell apart on him in the 6th inning. A couple of hits for Butler. And the A's have 6 outs left here, and Butler will lead it off, followed by Davis and Vogt. Farquhar back out there, and this will probably be the last guy he faces, with Furbush, the left-hander, ready out in the bullpen. Alvarez getting loose for the A's. So 27 pitches for Farquhar out of the bullpen after throwing 17 yesterday. So, an impressive performance by the right-hander.
Yeah, 1 hit in 2 innings. This being his third. High socks of Furbush getting ready, and you're right, looking at the lefties due up anyway.
Kerr snaps in on the inside corner. Buckcore doesn't mess around either. He storms back onto the mound, onto the rubber. He's ready to go. Billy Butler doesn't mess around either as he shoots from right up the middle, and Butler's 3 for 3. 2 singles, a double, and a walk for the DH. So he's off to a great start this year. 11 hits in 26 at bats.
Now batting first baseman.
Right out of the dugout.
Well, took a couple of strikes, but really not afraid, as we have seen throughout his career, to hit with 2 strikes, and that's very good hitting right back up the middle. And when you think opposite field, as he did in his first at bat with a double to right field, Felix, not surprised to see him hit so well with 2 strikes.
Time for change. Think Speedy Oil Change and Tune-Up. Your oil change tune-up and smog experts.
Fans, show your emotion for the A's with an emoji t-shirt. Saturday, April the 25th. That's when the A's will take on the Houston Astros right here at the Coliseum. 20,000 fans will receive the creative t-shirt courtesy of Grant Thornton LLP, which features Sean Doolittle, Coco Crisp, and Sonny Gray. Emoji t-shirt. Emoji.
Emoji. A's trying to get back in it. Butler with a leadoff single, and now Cody Ross is going to hit for Ike Davis, and he will face tough left-hander Charlie Furbush. 3rd appearance of the year for Furbush. He pitched on Friday night. And that one rolls to the backstop, and Butler goes to second. So the first pitch Furbush throws is a wild pitch.
Well, a very hard breaking pitch down and in, and almost hit the back foot of Cody Ross. Take one for the team. That'd be a good idea. Ross pinch hits for Davis.
Cody Ross, good grip there, rolls it foul. So 1-1 the count with Vogt to follow. After Vogt, it's Lord. Stride. Furbush. Kind of all arms and legs when he comes
yes,
at
he
you.
is. A whole bunch of arms. As tall as he is.
The Mariners got Furbush from the Detroit Tigers. Strike 3 call, then I think Cody Ross knew it. A slider.
The old backdoor slider, and that's You give up on it, and you just pray that it does not break enough that it's going to hit the strike zone, but this one does. And so after throwing the one back foot that was a wild pitch, this time he goes back door, and Tony Ross pinch hit, strikeout.
First pitch to Vogt. Slider for a strike. Furbush was acquired from the Tigers with the Doug Fister trade. Fister started his career with the Mariners and then went to Detroit in a big trade.
I think the pitchers that the Tigers have lost, including Fister, Scherzer this year, and Porcello, huge contract signed with Boston, and
Vogt hits it hard, but right at Cano for the second out here in the bottom of the eighth.
Well, while the A's are down 4 runs, you think of a runner at second and nobody out. Just the fundamental baseball. You get into third, that's a gift run. They'll play the infield back. And instead of a ground out 4-3 with the runner moving to third, it could have been an RBI, but and cut the deficit by a run. Those are important ones, especially the fundamental part of the game. And I think for the A's playing their 7th game of this young season, some of the things they'll be working on, and one of those would be that.
Laurie will have to get a 2-out hit to score Butler. Cano is playing behind second base. Outfield straightaway. Cano's going to have to charge this one. He throws quickly, and they just got low. So Furbush does a nice job. He retires 3 in a row, and we're moving to the 9th inning. Still Mariners 7, A's 3.
.2015 prorated A's ticket plans are available right now. The A's offer a variety of ticket plans to fit your schedule, as well as one of the most flexible ticket exchange policies in all of baseball. A's ticket plans provide significant savings off dynamically priced individual game tickets. For more information, call 510-638-GO-A's or visit athletics.com/tickets.
7-3. It's the 9th inning here at the Coliseum. New pitcher for the A's is R.J. Alvarez. Alvarez, he's going to face Ackley, Zunino, and Miller.
Young man's been impressive so far in his young career. The Athletics. A good fastball. He's showed a good changeup. For a fastball, the velocity he has, that's impressive.
Rodney getting loose. Ackley today, he's had a good day. Grounded out in the 3rd, doubled and scored in the 6th, singled and scored in the 7th. There's the changes for the A's with Ross now in left field. Canna at first.
Not often you see a Rule 5 player get as much playing time in early part of the season, and showing the versatility. That's Mark Canna playing left field, first base, and swinging the bat very well.
Toward right and deep. Reddick in front of the wall grabs it. We're going to battle that sun.
The ball is up in the air long enough that he could check out to see how close he was getting to the warning track and still be able to pick up the ball. We talk about the tough sun field and left field and shortstop, the left side of the infield and outfield, but it does kind of rotate a little bit as the day progresses. And as we normally see at night games, daylight savings time, that the sun shows quite a bit with the right field.
Alvarez to face Zunino. Zunino has a couple of singles.
And 2 runs scored. You know, Cap, you look at this, the A's and Jesse Hahn is just going right along, gave up the sac fly to Miller. That is the only run that scored with less than 2 outs. 7 runs, 6 with 2 outs, and 3-run pinch hit home run, but also the error, which opened up a big inning for the Mariners in the 6th.
A weird game. It changed quickly. So now 2-2 to Zunino. Just missed. Good pitch though by Alvarez. So payoff pitch, and here it is. Alvarez misses, so Zunino, good at bat, he works the walk. So 1-out base runner here in the top of the 9th, and Miller will hit.
Now batting, number 5.
That's a final now down in Anaheim with the Royals sweeping the Angels. 9-2 is the final. Salvador Perez hit a home run in that game. He's got 3 home runs already. And catcher for the Royals. And that one shoots right by Vogt, and it rolls all the way toward the dugout of the Mariners, so Vogt has to hustle after it.
Perez is a workhorse. He can catch, and of course showing his ability to hit. And he'll probably look at last year, of course, the success off the right knee. That one was of Mike DeMuro after off the glove of Stephen Vogt. But what? Oh, Mike. Whoa.
Fastball.
Whoa.
Tough crowd.
But Salvador Perez had the big hit against the A's. That was in the extra innings. Double down the left field line to play the go-ahead run or the winning run. I was talking to Don Wakamatsu. He said about halfway through the season, we talked earlier about how signs come from the bench. He said Salvador Perez, after about halfway through the season last year, Don Wakamatsu, the bench coach who would normally do it, said, "It's all yours, big boy. You call your own game. You call your own pitch outs, throw overs."
And he was probably fine with that.
Fine with that. And Ned Yost did it also with Jason Kendall. Because I remember when Ned got the job Kansas City. Kendall was there. I said, you know, who does the calling? He said that veteran behind the plate, which is usually the best way. A lot of times a catcher can kind of instinctively see some things that might be developing and make some calls that might not normally come from the bench.
Action for Cody Ross. Takes care of the Miller fly ball. Second out here in the top of the ninth. Well, Salvador Perez is a young guy, but he's caught a lot already.
Didn't he sign a long-term contract? They locked him up for a lot of years. And of course, the outstanding pitching staff they have.
Luis Medina joins Rodney. So a couple guys warming up. So the Royals are 6-0, just like the Tigers. Jackson swings and misses. Nobody went winless the first week of the season, so that's good. The Yankees are 1-4. Minnesota's 1-5. They lost today. And an 0-2.
What a case of Twins. What a huge, I mean, so much excitement in spring training off season. They signed Santana and all of a sudden what a devastating blow to a team. New manager and trying to change everything and then get off to a slow start.
Yeah, you could say they got off to a slow start before the season even started with that happening.
Exactly.
Is it an 80-game suspension for Irvin Santana?
Half a season, basically, yeah.
One and 2 to Austin Jackson. Good slider, nasty stuff there, and the strikeout ends the top of the ninth. What to do and a lot for the A's. They trail 7-3 as we go to the bottom of the ninth. (7-3). The Mariners lead the A's. It's the bottom of the ninth, so the A's are really going to have to put on a show here. They had a 3-0 lead in this game, but things got away in the middle of the game. But your rally caps are out, and you just can't lose faith.
No.
Attention, please, ladies and gentlemen. Now pitching for Seattle.
Here's today's Honda player of the game. The A's had Jamal Weeks. The Mariners very happy to acquire Ricky Weeks. And why? Because of this. The A's were trailing by 1 run, 2 runners on base, 2 outs, and that blow straightaway center field by Ricky Weeks, formerly the Milwaukee Brewers. And what a swing. And that's exactly what Jack Sarincic said. We like him. We want to sign him as a right-handed bat off the lineup, off the bench. And boy, they got it today big time. That was the blow of the game, and he's the Honda player of the game because of it.
So it's Fernando Rodney. He got the save yesterday. It is not a save situation. Rodney coming in anyways. He'll face Reddick, Simeon, and Fold. Well, we'll see you from Houston tomorrow night, the first of the 3-game series. First pitch is set for 5:05 Pacific time. So Reddick steps in against Fernando Rodney. 1 for 3 with an RBI single for Reddick. That RBI single is in the 4th inning. That's when he's got all of the runs. In for a strike.
Some pitchers do not like to pitch in closers, that is, in non-safe situations, and this being a 4-run lead for the Mariners, it is not for Rodney. Maybe since he was up in the bullpen, Lloyd McClendon decided to bring him in anyway.
Inside, and now it's 3-1, 94 miles an hour from Fernando Rodney. Simeon waiting to hit. Hayes would love to send a whole bunch of those guys up to bat here.
9.
Good swing. It's drilled to the gap, and that's going to roll all the way to the wall. So Reddick, with a good at bat against a tough closer, has a leadoff double.
Got Josh Reddick with a base hit up the middle and a double to the opposite field, so he'll take that, and his first game back with a couple of knocks, and especially to start this 9th inning down by 4.
So second hit for Reddick. Simeon's looking for his first hit. He has hit a fly ball to center. He has hit into a double play, and he has fouled out 0 for 3. Strike called 1-1. So Rodney, fastball, 94, 95 miles an hour, consistent.
And if you can guess, and guess correctly, you have a 50% chance of being successful. And that is fastball changeup, and his fastball, as we mentioned yesterday, he will throw with that kind of velocity, but also turn it over, no sinker. Just wonder how he would pitch if his cap was on straight. Maybe not as well, maybe because it looks like he's thrown to the on deck circle.
And now it's 3-1.
Well, you're down 4 runs, even though you look for a pretty good pitch to hit. He has to be a good one that you can drive, otherwise be patient enough to put another runner on base. Base runners are important now.
It's inside, and Simeon has a walk. Here's your pitching matchups in Houston. Starting tomorrow night with Scott Kazmir and Scott Feldman. Asher Wojciechowski and Kendall Graven, a couple of youngsters. And then Pomeranz and Colin McHugh. We'll have all 3 games for you. Our coverage starts at 4:30 each day.
Well, you're trying to get runners on base and score some runs down by 4. Now, successfully, 2 have reached base, and Sanford trying to continue the run.
There's a strike forward. Jump back out of the run.
Well, you had Ricky Weeks as a Honda player of the game. You can understand why. The difference in the game being Rodney could have been in with a 1-run lead, going for a save if the game had stayed the same. And
Hook to right. Cruz is not going to get it, and it's going to go to the wall. One run scores. They're waving home both runners, and both runs are going to score. And just like that, it's 7-5.
Sam Ford was going for 3, but he did not know what the trailing runner was going to be doing. And so, while he probably would have been going for 3 for his third triple, this is a changeup, stayed on it perfectly, and looked like Cruz had a little difficulty picking up the ball in right field. It was going to hook away from him, but he took a direct angle at it and then had to go backwards. Josh Reddick wanted to make sure. And so he was there, and the trailing runner was Simeon behind him. So you had a tandem of the two 8th and 9th place hitters with Sam Ford driving in 2.
Well, now it's officially interesting with Canna, Zobrist, Butler, the next 3 hitters.
And it's officially time run at the plate now with Tyler Clippard getting loose in a bullpen.
Canna, line drive, right field, just foul.
Canna faced Rodney yesterday. Rodney with a 1-2-3 11th inning. Canna grounded out to third base. Got this fastball, and that's a great job going opposite field. Just slides too much.
That is a fair ball. Seager flips it, and the ball is missed by Morrison. He tried to dig it out. Can't do it. A's have another base runner. Ball was well behind the bag at third. Seager just tried to get rid of it as quick as he could.
Yeah, that's interesting. Canna, of course, has good speed, and maybe Seager thought he had to unload as quickly as he did because of the speed. But that ball, I tell you, Morrison doesn't knock the ball down. That ball's down the right field line. And that's runners at second and third minimum. So Morrison, while he didn't come up with it, he kept it in front of him, and Sam Ford thought about going to third with the ball on the infield.
So here's Zobrist. Zobrist is the winning run. First pitch to Zobrist is in for a strike.
Well, Seager, fair ball all the way, and he threw a sinker, and Morrison, ball well out in front. Well, not really. It's on the dirt. If it's on the grass, he might come up with it, but he had a save because Ford would have scored easily, and Canna on to second.
It's ruled a base hit, so Canna gets his first hit. And now Zobrist behind in the count 0-2. Butler will hit next. After Butler, it's Cody Ross. The numbers on Zobrist has never had a hit in his career against Fernando Rodney.
Well, they've had a lot of time actually as teammates.
Yeah.
So Noah McClellan bringing his closer in with a 4-run lead. Now he sees his closer on the mound with a 2-run lead and 2 runners on base and nobody out.
So Zobrist checks his swing. Fastball 95 miles an hour, but high. Double walk, double single. It's happened quickly. Now it's a full count.
Well, looks like Ben Zobrist is trying to wait as long as possible because of the great changeup by Rodney. And he's taken the fastballs out of the strike zone, and the 2 strikes have been changeups that have floated over the plate.
Payoff pitch, and he just got a piece of it.
And that's good because he knew he was going to get the changeup. Rodney's not afraid to throw it any time, and he's been in these situations many times. Maybe not with a 4-run lead, but now it's 2. But boy, just barely making contact with Zobrist off the end of the bat.
So another 3-2 pitch. Here it is. And he missed outside, and the bases are loaded with nobody out, and Billy Butler's coming up.
I tell you, Ben Zobrist might not have had any hits against him, but that was one tremendous at bat. Considering starting 0-2, and Lou McClendon going out to visit with his closer, but 0-2 for Zobrist with two very good changeups, and it took some fastballs up and out of the strike zone, fouled the changeup, and then took ball 4. And how many times have we talked about these situations? The Mariners going to play back for a double play. Zobrist is not going to be held at first. And this is the time that a runner at first, with very few catchers trying to throw behind a runner, get a huge lead. And guy down that Ricky's been with the ball club, and I'll never forget against the Blue Jays in the early 90s when the A's went to the World Series and played. He went into second so hard on an attempted double play, and the throw ended up being in the seat. So you have to think about the little things. Morris is going to play behind the runner at first because Butler does a good job going opposite field. So Zobrist can get a huge lead off first, and maybe Ty Wall will tell him the same thing. Trying to do some damage at second with the Mariners playing back defensively. Outfield actually playing no doubles, if you can believe that. They're playing so deep, almost conceding with a base hit to allow the time run from second to score. Very, very deep all the way around in the outfield.
4 for 12 in his career against Rodney. Today, Butler is 3 for 3 with a walk. First pitch hit hard to short. Miller has it out at second. Cano the first double play. Run comes in to score. But Butler hit it hard, but Miller, a couple steps to his left, was able to grab it. Once he had it, it was going to be a fairly easy double play.
And you know, just talking about Zobrist, he had no chance to get to second base to do anything to Cano. He tried, but the ball was hit so hard and handled by Miller. So they did give the run, and getting out of the way of the slide by Zobrist was Cano.
So now Eric Sogard's going to hit. He's hitting for Ross. A base hit, and the game is tied. Sogard has faced him 3 times. So the A's have scored 3 in the bottom of the 9th and have a chance to tie it, or maybe if Sogard were to get into it, win it.
How about a wild pitch?
That's another angle. And a fastball right on the inside corner. Good pitch from Rodney at 96 miles an hour. This one's tied at 7.
And Fernando Rodney, the closer's in the game. So, as this game, if it progresses, it's probably going to be done after this inning. Inside out swing on a fastball by Eric Sogard. Maybe protect him against the changeup. And what a beautiful swing to go opposite field on a fastball down and in. Inside out swing, and Rodney. Well, it's not a blown save because it wasn't a safe situation, I guess. Can't create your own, but the A's have come all the way back.
Wow. Vogt hits it right at Cano. Side retired. The A's score 4 times in the bottom of the 9th to tie it. And for the second day in a row, we are going to extra innings 7-7. We're headed to the 10th. So Sogard ties it with the 2-out RBI single. And here it is.
Cap, I think a lot of times hitters are so aware of the great changeup from Fernando Rodney, they don't want to be fooled. And as a result, they may stay back a little bit longer for the mid-90s fastball. But Eric Sogard, a bullet to left center over the head of Miller, who turned the double play off the hard hit ball by Butler. But this one into left center field. And this crowd originally at 32,282. There are a lot on the freeway listening to the great comeback so far by the Athletics. And we shall see how much farther they can take it.
So Sogard stays in there at second base.
Zobrist moves back to the outfield. He's in left field where he originally started. Actually, Cannon was there. Zobrist is second. So he's played different positions already today, has been Zobrist.
And there's Tyler Clippard. Yeah. He's going to face Weeks, Cano, and Cruz. So Zobrist, as Ray said, now out in left field. So Zobrist in left, Sogard at second. And Weeks pops it up. Canna says, I got it. And he does. So one away here in the top of the 10th. And that'll bring up Robinson Cano.
Well, you figure with a 4-run deficit, 4-run lead by the Mariners, you would not look as much to the bullpen. But what Scribner and Alvarez did, and getting through, allowing just a walk in the 6 batters they faced. So great job by those 2 relievers, and now tying the game, turn it over to Tyler Clippard.
Cano is 0 for 4. He reached on an error and scored in the 6th inning. He hit that line drive that Reddick could not handle. Robinson Cano is 0 for 12 in the series. Cruz to follow. Cano may have been taking all the way. It's right in their first strike. Extra innings as well in Arlington, where the Astros and the Rangers 4-4 in the 14th inning. Driven to center. Fold hustles back into right center. He's got it on the warning track.
So between shutouts and extra innings in the first week of the season, it's been amazing.
No shutouts today, though.
Now batting, number 23.
So Cruz will hit with 2 outs.
And you know, Cap, if you look at this game now in extra innings, there are 2 starting pitchers. Hahn did not deserve to be the pitcher of record on the losing side, and Felix Hernandez had a chance pitching 5 innings, leaving in a precautionary state with a tight quad. Was the pitcher record for the Mariners, but that is now out of the window because it's a new game in the 10th inning.
Cruz is hitless today. He did reach base in the 6th with a walk. So 2-0. Be careful with Cruz.
How many people who left this park with the A's trailing by 4 on the freeway trying to get back in?
Cruz belts one to left. Zobrist into the corner in front of the wall. He leaps and it is gone. Nelson Cruz has homered with 2 outs here in the 10th inning, and it's 8-7 Mariners.
Boy, that's how close Ben Zobrist came to catching the ball and just out of reach. Wow. And it looked like a changeup that Cruz got out in front, hit. He had 3-run home run yesterday, and now went fastball. Just down the line. Any other part of this park except right down the line, it's caught. And that close for Ben Zobrist. Wow. Talk about deflating.
Well, here's Seager. Seager swings at the first pitch, shallow center, where Fold comes in. He's got it. Side retired. 2nd huge home run for Nelson Cruz in this series. Zobrist just missed it. So bottom of the 10th coming up. It's now 8-7 Seattle. Well, it's turned out to be a heck of a ball game. He's led 3-0. He's trailed 7-3. They scored 4 in the bottom of the ninth to tie. And then Nelson Cruz with a solo home run with 2 outs in the top of this inning.
You see a line score too, Cap. The A's about hit. They double the hit total as Jovinus Medina runs on to try to save it. And yes, Chef Rodney is a pitcher record for the Mariners as he gave up 4 in the 9th inning. As Medina going to try to save it as the closer. Rodney, the closer, coming in with a 4-run lead.
So it'll be Laurie, Reddick, and Simi. Laurie was the only A's hitter in the lineup to not bat last inning. So he'll try to get something started against Medina, who pumps in a first pitch strike. Medina is the 4th pitcher, 4th reliever used by the Mariners. Laurie today is 2 for 4. He singled in the 2nd and he singled in the 6th. Outfield very deep. Swing and a miss. Medina's been a workhorse the last couple years out of this Mariners bullpen.
Fastball, rare for Brett Lord to get fastballs. A breaking ball in the dirt. A couple of good fastballs from Medina.
And Laurie chased a sharp breaking ball, and that's the first out. A late break.
Well, this one elevated. The first one he threw was in the dirt, but came back, and not surprised that the scouting report will proceed. Brett Laurie, and we have advanced scouts watching and passing along information to teams that are going to be playing. In this case, the A's. They're going to be saying, making prove he can hit a breaking ball. So he did yesterday. Laurie did, to drive in his first run on a hanging breaking ball.
Reddick got the 9th inning started with a double to left center field. He's 2 for 4. He's knocked in a run, and he has scored a run. The Astros have taken a 6-4 lead in the top of the 14th. And Arlington, they got a wild one going there as well. Otero starts to throw. Get ready in case the A's tie it again. Strike outside corner. Reddick did not agree.
Just a bit outside. But, you know, 2-0, 1-1, huge difference.
With a good hack. Just below us to our left. Right down Milwaukee. So now Reddick behind in the count, 1-2. Medina pitching from the far first base side of the runner. Deals. It's lifted toward left, but in the ballpark. Ackley right at the last minute has to reach up and back, but he makes the catch. So now the A's are down to their final out, and it's Semien who has to get on base.
Number 10.
Again, the Mariners outfielders will remain deep.
In this game, only 5 innings since they've been scoring. 2 4s, 2 3s, but the Mariners have the 1, and that's the most important. The crooked numbers tied it, but the solo home run by Nelson Cruz. What he did yesterday and what he's done today. See why the Mariners were hopeful of adding the right-handed bat to the lineup.
This one's popped up, and it's just below us. So 0-1 to Semien. Semien is 0 for 3 with a walk and a run score. Right on the outside corner, and now he's got to work. It's 0-2.
Another pitch that is questionable, but called a strike.
Medina kicks, and a hard slider that Laurie swung at. Tried it on Semien, and Marcus was able to lay off. Really not an easy pitch to lay off of. Little jam shot. Miller waits for it, fires across, and that's the ball game. So in the end, it's going to be a frustrating loss for the A's, even though they scored 4 in the 9th to tie it. But Nelson Cruz did his thing the last 2 days for the Mariners, the big free agent signing, and a big home run today. And the A's cannot capitalize on that big 9th inning. And when it's all said and done, the final score 8-7 in 10 innings, and the A's finish their first homestand of the year with a 3-4 record. 8-7 your final. Mariners over the A's in 10 innings. You've been watching Oakland A's baseball on Comcast Sportsnet California. Don't go away. A's postgame live with Brody and Shooty starts right now.